John Bradshaw, the executive director of the National Security Network, nsnetwork.org, is on the line with us. John, welcome to the program.
Hi, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. There's a lot going on right now. We've been kind of live reporting, and I've been conveying mostly the live reporting from the BBC on the shooting down of this Malaysian airliner over Ukraine. What do you know about this?
Well, there's a lot yet to be determined. I think you've reported and seen the speculation that it probably had to be most likely Russian systems that were able to take down a plane at 33,000 feet, either Russians controlling the systems or systems that they gave to the separatists on the Ukrainian side. So it's really hard to understand how this could be beneficial to any party to that conflict, but it does show the need for President Putin to take some action to actually sort of diffuse the situation by stopping sending fighters and supplies across the border to Ukraine and coming up with some kind of diplomatic solution so that the overall conflict can be tamped down. Now, this seems to be just some kind of collateral damage from that conflict, but again, it's pretty early to.
Two spokespeople for the rebels, or whatever you want to call them, in eastern Ukraine have now come out and said to the BBC that they don't have equipment capable, never had, don't have now. Come on over and look. We got nothing that can take out a plane at 30,000 feet. We can do it up to 15,000 feet, but we can't do it at 30,000 feet. And therefore, this was probably the Ukrainian government. And this has turned into a giant he said, she said.
Yes. Well, I noted that Senator McCain was reluctant to speculate, and when Senator McCain, who's usually quite willing to speculate about anything, holds back, I think the rest of us should probably wait a little longer till we get some more information before we continue to point fingers. But I'm trying to track, as you are, all the information that's coming out from this incident.
Yeah, this I thought these BBC reports were fascinating. I'm wondering also what your take is on the Israeli Gaza situation. It seems that the killing of these 4 kids, coincidentally, on a beach that is right in front of the hotel where most foreign journalists who are in Gaza were staying, has, pushed that particular story worldwide really, really fast, and Israel's recoiling from the bad publicity.
Well, right. The Israelis certainly have some right to self-defense when they're being bombarded with these rockets on a continual basis, and they are trying, they say, and I think sincerely, to avoid civilian casualties with their targeting. But then again, that's not foolproof, and we see here a really tragic incident that I think will spur the Israelis to work harder to be more careful about avoiding civilian casualties, and also to push for a ceasefire, which seemed to be quite a reasonable proposal. They dialed it back to even a very short-term ceasefire to see if there could be some trust built, and Hamas rejected even that. So it's hard to see a way out. It's really a kind of a nightmare situation.
Yeah, and you've got Mr. Abbas in the Palestinian Authority, the president of the PA in the West Bank, saying we're ready to cut a peace deal. But Hamas in Gaza is saying, we'll just throw missiles at you.
Right. Well, it seems like there may start to be some separation between the ordinary Gazan citizens who are enduring these repeated strikes and the Hamas leadership, which has a different agenda, which includes a lot of terrorism around that region. So maybe there will be some pressure internally within Gaza to agree to one of these ceasefire proposals.
Do you think it seems like
Egypt.
This might, these guys might actually succeed, the Hamas militants might actually succeed in further radicalizing average Gazans? That this could turn in. I mean, this is what we're seeing in Iraq. The people get killed and they want revenge.
Right. Well, that's just a vicious cycle of revenge now, of course, and the Israelis have not suffered a lot of casualties from these bombardments, but there were also some of those tragic
Three kids.
killings of Israeli teenagers and Palestinian teenagers. Yeah, it's hard to see a way out. I'm not going to pretend that I have the solution to this crisis. I think
no, if you did, you'd win the Nobel Prize. It's a tough one. The Iranian negotiations. Iran says we don't want a nuclear weapon. We've never wanted a nuclear weapon. Khamenei, the Grand Ayatollah, says this. Rouhani, the Prime Minister, says this. Gareth Porter has done some really interesting reporting. Just wrote a book about this very recently. We had a long conversation with him about it. Yet this issue, the sanctions continue. What's going on there in your mind?
Well, a lot of this has to do with internal domestic Iranian politics. The Iranian people who have been polled and they're human rights activists and civil society activists are pretty clear that they want these negotiations to succeed. They want to come back and be part of the West and get out from under sanctions. They also want to see the country have a civilian nuclear program. It's part of their national pride.
Right.
They don't want to give that up completely. So they're the outlines of a solution, but there are other parts of the Iranian government that see a benefit in continuing to have at least the threshold capacity for nuclear weapons. And of course, on our side in the U.S., we have our hardline hawks who really are committed to regime change in Iran and don't want to see the negotiations succeed. And then a lot of other people that are hoping that we can get some kind of good deal that's acceptable and will keep the Iranian program under control and give us a lot of insight into it, because the inspections will be quite intrusive, according to what looks like will be in any deal, and that would allow us to put their program under a microscope and make it very difficult for them to break out. So it looks like they won't be able to reach an agreement by Sunday, which is the initial deadline, and we'll probably have to have some kind of an extension. So we'll probably find out within the next couple of days what's going to happen on that.
Right. Okay. John Bradshaw with the National Security Network, nsnetwork.org. John, thanks for dropping by.
Sure. Thanks, Tom.
Good talk. We'll be back.